If you're looking for some fun ways to stay busy this winter months, I have 20 Dollar Tree winter crafts that you are going to love. Let's get started. We are going to start with this foam ring. You can find these at Dollar Tree year-round in their floral aisle. I'm going to remove the sticker and I'm going to take one of these white towels from the Dollar Tree. We are going to cut it into strips at about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. It does not matter. Then you want to glue it and as you're wrapping around the ring. A key here is you want to make sure you're pulling and tugging tight so it's nice and smooth and not falling apart on you. And then you just want to do that until the entire thing is covered. All right, we're going to take a piece of cardboard. This is just a piece that came with a pajama set that I bought. And we're just going to cut up a piece. I ended up cutting up a piece that's about 6 inches by 7 inches and another one that's about 9 inches by 3 inches. We're going to add a layer of Mod Podge to one side. I've used this technique now for a while and I'm sure you're familiar with it. Once applied, we're just going to set it to the side and let it dry, fully dry. And then once dry, we are going to cover them using felt fabric in the black color. Now, you don't have to do this. You can use any other fabric you want. You can also paint them instead of Mod Podging. I think adding the texture of the fabric of the felt really helps. But you can paint, of course, as you want, or you can cover it with black vinyl or even black construction paper. All right, once we had it on top, we placed parchment paper and then we ironed it. And that activates the Mod Podge and it attaches the fabric. I'm going to use my rotary cutter and cut off the excess fabric from the sides of both pieces. And this is what will be the hat of a snowman. Oh, I can't wait for you to see this craft. We're going to hot glue the top of the hat right there, one side. Now, it looks like it's going to be on top, but I do want the hat to be a little tilted. And you're going to see how I do that. Anyways, we're going to add the other piece right there on top. Now, you can see the little edge of the white cardboard. I'm going to use the black paint here and just going to add just paint it. That way, it's just going to make those lines disappear. You can also use permanent marker if you had that instead. Okay, we're going to add some embellishments. These are some greenery picks. You can use the ones from Dollar Tree, but I've had these for a while. I get these on Amazon because you do get more bang for your buck. So I'm going to add a couple and then some of these frosted berries from Dollar Tree. They came on a garland and I'm just going to add them right there to the hat. And then we're going to add a little scarf. This is just a piece of fabric I've had for a while. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby if I'm not mistaken. And I'm just going to hot glue it to the bottom and kind of crisscrossing it a little bit to look a little bit like a scarf. So just hot glue as needed. You can also use a ribbon. You can give him a bow tie if you want. You can do whatever you want. All right, we're going to add a couple of these Dollar Tree picks. They have little berries and frosted picks, and that's that. Now, I thought it needed a little bit something else on the hat, so I'm going to fold a little bit of that same fabric. I'm going to fold a piece, and then we're just going to cut off the edges, and that way it's going to be nice and straight. And we're going to make it, just snug it behind the embellishments there and hot glue it. I felt like it needed something, and it really did bring everything together. I'm going to get folded towards the back and hot glue it and secure it in place. And how adorable is this snowman? Of course, you can add a nose if you want. I wanted to keep it simple. I love, love, love how it turned out. But let me know what you think down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take this rectangular golden plate. Love that they have these at Dollar Tree for $1.25. This was in the fall collection, but of course you can use any time of the year. We're going to wipe it well, and I'm going to give the center 2 coats of Waverly chalk paint in the white. Why did I do this? I don't know. Because you really didn't need it. I thought I needed it. I don't know why, but I'm showing you the process. So I did 2 coats, let it dry, and then we're going to bring in one of these dusting mops from Dollar Tree. I love using these, especially for Christmas and winter crafting because it has a nice, cozy, snowy look. I'm going to remove the tag from it, of course, and then we're going to hot glue it in place, adding hot glue on the edges as needed. And this is why I didn't need to paint it, so don't paint it, okay? It's not needed. All right, these bottle brush trees are great for crafting and decorating as well. I'm going to remove the wooden base from each, and we're just going to hot glue them in place, and I'm just going to make a little vignette of snowy trees. And this is going to be a nice, cute little, almost like centerpiece, but you can add it anywhere in your home. And wait until you see what I add at the end. So as you can see, I added different sizes and different shapes. And now we're going to take more of those fairy lights. By the way, I get these fairy lights on Amazon. I know I've mentioned that before. You get more sets for just more bang for your buck, okay? And I do have them on my Amazon store as well. All right, so I'm going to string them and I'm just going to put them around the trees. And then we're going to bring in some of these Dollar Tree ornaments, which they have a huge selection of. This one is a beautiful reindeer style one. We're going to add hot glue to the bottom and just add it right there. And then we're going to add, similarly, this tree has the same kind of texture and design. And we're just going to add this one right there. Dollar Tree has these little Christmas village people and little figurines. I'm going to add a cute little bench with a little person there and a light post on this side and then the other light post on the other side. I think this one is gorgeous. This will look great as a centerpiece with, I think this is where I'm going to place on my dining room table. And at night, it looks stunning. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Dollar Tree DIY craft. We're going to take this Winter Wonderland gorgeous little tiny gift bag, remove it from the rest, and we're going to keep that little white cardboard or cardstock portion from it because we're going to reuse that. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and I'm just going to cut off the snow globe portion of it. You can use your scissors, of course you can. I like using the X-Acto knife because it just leaves nice straight lines. All right, these canvases I found on a trip to Florida. We visited a local Dollar Tree there and I found them. I've never seen them at my Dollar Tree. And I used them for some summer crafts about a couple of years ago. And I had this one left over and we're going to use it. We're going to hot glue the snow globe right there to the front and towards the bottom. And then we're going to take that cardstock that we kept earlier and we're going to use my snowflake hole puncher design. And we're going to hole punch several of the snowflakes. And we're going to use this to hot glue them all around the snow globe. Now, I do have these hole punchers. They come in a set of 6 with different shapes and designs. And I have them in my Amazon store. Again, if you want to check that out, it is linked down below. All right, we're going to use these greenery picks from Dollar Tree, and we're just going to cut off several stems. And again, we're going to create a smaller little swag for this one. Use some more of that leftover a towel from Dollar Tree. We're going to roll it around in the center, and then we're going to hot glue that to the top of the canvas. And then I'm going to add a couple of smaller little tiny picks that I had left over that have a silver tone just to keep it in that Winter Wonderland design. And we're going to hot glue them to the front to make sure it hides the towel, although you can leave it. It looks nice, but I just want to add a couple little of these. And I love that it brought everything together. Such a simple craft, so wintry also. It can be used for Christmas as well as winter, but I think it's so beautiful, so soft, and also so easy to make. Well, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. DIY craft, we are going to take one of these little jars, which you've seen before. I love using them. I love that they're $1.25, but you can also use a mason jar for this craft. All right, we're going to remove the sticker once again, and then we're going to drill a hole on top of the lid. So drill it while the lid is on, very carefully not to hit the glass, and very careful because it does get pointy and prickly on the bottom. We're going to cut off another piece of that same foam from earlier, and we're going to attach it to a stick here just so that we can reach the bottom and hot glue it in place. Once it's attached, we can start adding some greenery. Now, again, we're going to use one of those little trees, and we're just going to remove the bottom, hot glue it in place. And for this one, we're going to keep it simple, although you can add whatever you want. I'm just going to make a nice, cute little forest of evergreens, and I'm going to add different textures, different colors, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this to make it very magical. So I'm attaching this last one here, and then we're just going to add some of faux snow. Again, just a little bit goes a long way. Shake it around just to make sure it's covering the foam. And then we're going to start adding some fairy lights. But this time we're going to add it through the hole, and we're going to tape it on the inside of the lid. I want the lights to just be a glow onto the evergreen. So we're just going to, again, slide it through the hole, and then we're going to tape it underneath the lid, making sure we're leaving some space so that we can thread it back on the jar. And there's what it should look like, just like that. All right, so now we're going to place it right back in, and we are going to secure the battery pack again with the back on the back with some tape. Then we're going to take this golden ribbon from Dollar Tree and we're going to wrap it around the rim. You can leave it as is. You can also spray paint it if you want. I think a red will look gorgeous, or white. And that's about it. I got to tell you, it is so simple, but that beautiful glow, especially at night, is stunning. I love all the different greens and textures that it gives, and of course the faux snow. But let me know what you think down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take a martini glass. Now, this one is heavy duty, friends. So thick, I can't believe it's $1.25 at Dollar Tree. We're going to take one of these foam from Dollar Tree. I've already used it for another project. But we're going to cut off several pieces just to make it to fit inside. And we're going to add a little bit of hot glue, just like that. For this one, we're going to create another little like forest of evergreen. But we're going to do it on the top of the glass. So it's going to be visible, it's going to be out. And now I didn't add fairy lights to this one, but I think it would have looked gorgeous. I'm going to add different heights, different colors, even this tiny little bright green ones. I think just add nice of brightness and just more texture and color. So I'm going to keep adding them, hot gluing them in place, and then adding some of the faux snow. Just drop it in there. And because it is hollow underneath the foam, I am going to add way more faux snow. But again, this is something that you can do as a centerpiece and you create different ones. You can add it as a part of a group of wine glasses. I think the possibilities are endless. You can leave it like this and it would be beautiful. But I am going to add some bows here. I'm going to start with a burlap ribbon. Again, we're going to loop it like an awareness ribbon and we're going to scrunch it in the middle. But then we're going to add a second layer first because I do want to add this buffalo check black and white ribbon from Dollar Tree. Make it a little smaller and join them all together right there in the center. I'm going to tie it with some jute string, secure it in the back, cutting off the excess ribbon. And we're going to add a few extra little things to the bow just to make it a little bit more grand. Once everything's attached, I'm just going to tie it right there in the center where you would grab the glass from, securing it in the back just by tying it. You can also add a little dab of hot glue. That's going to really secure it in place. But how gorgeous is this? This would be a great winter decor or winter craft as well. I would love to know what you think of this one. Let me know down in the comments. Dollar Tree DIY craft, we are headed back to the Dollar Tree Plus aisle because they have this beautiful reindeer that I found for $5. Because we are going to try to recreate this front gate deer, one of them will run you between $89 and $99, which I think is outrageous, but I think we can do it for less. We're going to start by just painting it. Of course, we want it to have that darker gray tone. So I'm going to use the Elephant Tone by Waverly. I thought it was the closest to the color of the original inspiration. And instead of brushing the paint on, I'm just going to dab it. This is going to create more texture, and I think it's going to give it that nice felt look that the original had. And I'm going to do the entire deer, except without doing the base and not doing the antlers. I give it 2 coats, and once dry, it really has this matte look, and it looks great. I'm going to take the gold rub and buff, and we're going to stain the antlers. Now, you can also spray paint them. I could have done that, but I didn't want to like tape it and go outside and risk the paint ruining. No. So we're just going to use this with a rag and a glove, and we're just going to go on, and we're going to stain the front as well as the back of the antlers, and I think it looks stunning. And we are going to paint the base white. Of course, you can leave it whatever color it comes in. You can also do the gray or black. I have a lot of white surfaces, so I'm just going to paint it white. And we're going to just do one coat. Actually, it was more like a coat and a half, just to make sure I had full coverage. And this is Waverly in the white. And then we are going to take glittery golden ribbon from Dollar Tree, and we are going to make a very simple bow. As the original inspiration, they had bows in the golden tone around the neck. So we're just going to loop it like an awareness ribbon, scrunch it in the middle, tie it in the center with more ribbon, cut off the excess, and we're going to angle cut the legs. And then we're just going to hot glue it to the neck of the reindeer. Let me remind you what the original looked like from Front Gate. Gorgeous reindeer. This one runs one of them between $89 and $99. And I was able to recreate it. I think it's stunning. I figured it was about $7 give or take with materials. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. We're going to take 2 of the medium size ones, and we're going to start by folding them about ½ inch, and we're going to go back and forth, and we're going to fold it like an accordion or like a handheld fan. We're going to do that all the way from one side to the other side, and then we're going to do it all over again for a second one. Now, you can do this with any size of the doilies. I just happened to grab the medium sized ones, but you can do little ones or you can do the largest ones as well. Once you have them both nice and folded, you're going to join them together side by side, making sure they're nice and even on the ends. Then they're going to hold it about maybe 3 to 4 inches from the top. Grab a stapler, it does not matter which stapler, and then staple it. I staple it a couple of times right next to each other, but one of them should be fine as well. Then you want to open it up, the top sides to each side. We're creating an angel. And then we're just going to hot glue each of the smaller sides to the larger bottom one by adding glue, just maybe about 1 inch long. Then we're going to join both bottom portions, and then we're going to fluff as needed, opening them up, and then you can start seeing the beautiful angel shape. We're going to add some glue to the top and a wood bead. Now, you can also use an ornament. I thought later I could have totally used a golden ornament and it would have been gorgeous, but it's okay. The wood bead worked well. I'm going to use some Mod Podge, and I'm going to brush on some of the fold everywhere on the angel, starting on the wings and then work my way down to the actual dress. And then we're just going to add glitter. Now, I picked the golden glitter, but you can do red, you can do blue, silver, whatever you want, or you can totally skip this part if you want. You can also add faux snow, which I think would be a great little detail, but I decided to go with the golden glitter. I just like the way it looked. And again, I'm just going to do all over the angel's wings and the bottom. If you've worked with glitter, you know it's going to get everywhere. So I'm going to use my little handheld vacuum here, and it works so good. And I do have it in my Amazon store, which is linked below if you want to take a look at it. I'm going to add some yarn. You can also use pipe cleaners or golden ribbon. Whatever you have is fine. But look how cute this angel is. You can use as an ornament or just to hang around your home. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take one of each size doilies. We're going to start with the small one, and we're just going to fold it in half, and then we are going to cut them in half. We're going to create little cone-shaped designs, and we're going to do that in every size. Now, you can do whatever you want. You can do them all the same size, all large ones, whatever you want. But I want them to be from small to large, so I'm going to do the same thing on all the doilies. And then once I have them cut in half, it's time to start shaping them into a cone. So you just want to fold them, and the key here is you want to make sure that the bottom portion is all even with each other. This is going to give you a nice flush bottom as well as a nice pointy top. Once you have it in place, you're just going to add a little bit of hot glue and then just seal it. You can also use double-sided tape or even clear tape. I'm going to do the same thing on all of them. All right, so we have each of them shaped like a cone. And now we're going to take a bowl and some faux snow. This is from Dollar Tree, and I also have gotten it on Amazon, but whatever you have on hand is fine. I'm going to add Mod Podge to the top of each cone, just on the portion that is solid. So I don't want it on the portion that has a lacy design. So just the top portion. And I'm going to add a lot of Mod Podge. Just be careful not to drip a lot. But I do want it to be heavy so that the faux snow sticks really well to it, almost like frosting. I'm going to do the same thing on all of them because I want all these little cones to look like little pine trees, and I love for them to just shimmer with that faux snow. All right, I sped it up because it's very repetitive, but I want you to see the difference in all the sizes. The larger ones, they do get a little flimsy once the Mod Podge gets on them, but it works really well. And just set them to the side, let them dry, and look how easy and gorgeous these are. You can add these to a Christmas village. You can add them to a mantle, whatever you want. Let me know what you think down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we are going to take more doilies. This time we're going to take 9 of the small ones, and we're going to fold in half and then fold the sides until they overlap right there in the middle where that fold is. I'm going to add a little bit of glue stick right there, and we're just going to attach both sides and try not to get any glue to the back of the doily. So then we're going to add a little bit of more glue stick, and then we're going to fold it right there in half. We're going to create little pockets, so you want it to look like a little pocket. And we're going to do this same thing to all 9 doilies. All right, once you have everything set, this is what it should look like. It should look like a little pocket, just like this. See? Joined in the center, but the sides are not joined together. All right, so now we're going to join all these little pockets together, and we're going to create a T using hot glue. We're going to add it to the bottom base and then up the middle, but stopping where the solid paper is. Again, avoid that lacy part of it. And then we're just going to do the same thing to all of them. Once they are stacked and attached, you can open it up just like this. Isn't that looking cute? Oh my gosh. All right, so then you're just going to work your fingers through all the pockets, just making sure nothing is stuck where it shouldn't be, and then add that one last one right there. You can add a string and hang these. I'm going to do the same exact thing, but I'm going to do it with the medium size doilies. I thought it'd be cute to have a small one and a large one. These mimic little snowflakes, and it'd be great to hang in your home, or even for a birthday party or wedding, shower, whatever you want. Great way to use these doilies. Once again, just make sure that all the pockets are nicely separated, and look how stunning these look. Again, you can add a string and hang them. Love the way they turned out, but let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm going to give this one a quick wipe. They are a little bit dusty, so just wipe them really quick. And then I'm going to grab one of these cork sheets you can find at Dollar Tree, and they have a backing that you can actually remove. So it's like a sticker almost. And it works really well. However, we are going to hot glue as well for this one. I'm going to cut off a piece that's just about maybe 3 inches by 3 inches. And then I'm going to take this leftover ornament from Christmas. I'm going to remove the antler, and I'm also going to take these little winter trees that you can find currently at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to hot glue one and then start hot gluing the reindeer. Now you can start doing whatever you want. I'm just going to start adding little trees here and there. Now I am making sure that I'm hot gluing and keeping them really close to the center because I want to make sure that the wine glass is going to fit over it. Now I'm going to take some faux snow that you can find at Dollar Tree during Christmas season. I'm going to take this little baggie and I'm going to start adding just a little bit. You don't have to add too much. A little bit goes a long way. Then I'm going to add hot glue to the rim of the wine glass. Now here you want to work pretty fast. You don't want that glue to harden. Once you have it on, you just want to flip over the arrangement with the deer and the trees and just slide it right inside and push it in. Let it harden, and then I did add some extra hot glue around the rim. That way it's going to secure it in place. Once that was dry, I am going to cut off the excess cork sheet. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife. You can also use your scissors if you'd like. Wait until the glue dries to do this, and then I decided to add some yarn. Now you can add ribbon to the bottom as well, but you can see a lot of the glue and it just looked unfinished. So I'm going to add some of this yarn and I'm just going to hot glue it all around. And we're just about done with this one. I'm going to add this beautiful candle from Dollar Tree, and look how stunning this looks. You can find all kinds of inspiration, but I just love the winter wonderland look. What do you think of this one? For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take another wine glass from the wine glass section. I'm going to again wipe it, remove dust and any smudges. And then I'm going to take this dusting mop from Dollar Tree. You can find this in the cleaning aisle. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut a piece that's going to fit right inside the wine glass. So I'm going to place the wine glass on top, cut off that piece, and then I'm just going to fold it and then just kind of push it inside. So easy. And then once we had that, we're going to put that to the side really quick. We're going to bring in another ornament that was left over from Christmas. This is a snowman ornament. We are going to remove the hat because it's a little too Christmassy. And I'm going to make him another hat using one scarf from Dollar Tree. Now, recently I made a video using scarves and I had this one left over. I'm going to cut off a piece from one end. And then I'm just going to hot glue it to the top of the snowman head. Now just go section by section and just apply the hat, making sure that it goes from one end to the other end and it overlaps in the back. Now I am going to kind of tie it in a little hat form, but you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to make sure that it just tightens nicely in the front and take more of that white yarn, tie it around and just tie it in a bow. Very simple. You can add whatever embellishments you want to this part. I decided to keep it simple and just like this. I'm going to add some buttons to the body of the snowman. I'm just going to use the end of one of my brushes, dip it in Waverly chalk paint in the ink tone, and then I'm just going to make 4 buttons. I'm going to let that dry, and then we're going to place the head right on top. Again, work pretty quickly here. Just add some hot glue and then place the head right on it. It sticks really well. I'm going to take another piece of the scarf and I'm going to cut it in a long, thin strip. This is what we're going to use as the scarf for the snowman. We're going to fold it in half. We're just going to tie it really simple towards the left side. Make a very simple knot. And then I'm going to cut off any excess from the bottom, but I do want it to hang just a little long. And look how cute this is. He went from a Christmas ornament to a beautiful winter snowman. What do you think of this one? Craft. I'm going to take another one of those thinner style glass and we are going to again wipe it and we're going to bring in some of these LED lights. You can use the ones from Dollar Tree, but I find these at Amazon and I like that you get a whole bunch for a good price. I removed the little plastic tag, lighten them up, and then we are going to take some alien tape. Now, if you've never worked with alien tape, I get this on Amazon and it's actually fantastic double-sided tape. I'm going to cut off a small piece, remove the back, and I'm just going to place it to the back of the battery pack. And then this is what's going to hold it in place to the glass portion on the inside of the wine glass. Hot glue would have not stuck well enough. So once it was attached, I'm just going to put all the little lights inside, making sure they're just snugged right in there. Look how cute that looks. All right, so now I'm going to bring in a large doily. Now, recently I also made a video using only doilies, and I had some left over. I'm going to take a large one, and I'm going to cut 1/4 of it. So kind of like a pie. I'm just going to cut 1/4, and then we are going to add some double-sided tape. I also get this one on Amazon, by the way. They come a whole bunch in a pack. I'm going to strip the one of the sides, and then we're going to fold it and create a cone. You want to align that edge as close as possible and then secure it in place with the tape, just like that. Now I'm going to fold it just like this, but I'm not going to tighten the edges because I don't want to create a crease. Once I have it folded, I am going to cut off and flatten that top portion. We're going to create a lamp shade for my wine glass. I thought this was such a cute craft. I am going to add hot glue to the rim. This is only so that the shade doesn't wobble on me. So I'm just going to apply it and then I'm just going to let it harden before I do anything. Let it cool down. Once it's cooled down, you can place the shade and it's not going to wobble on you. Look how cute this looks. I'm going to show you how it looks in the dark. I think it's adorable. What a great craft, and it lights up at night. I love anything that lights up. What do you think of this one? This foam wreath form, you can find these at Dollar Tree year round. I'm going to remove the sticker from it, and we are going to wrap both of these scarves simultaneously. We're going to put them right next to each other, and we're going to find the center of the scarf, and we're going to start wrapping it. Now, don't worry about it being super tight right now. It's all about covering up, making sure that the colors alternate from one to the other. Once you have them wrapped up, both ends of the scarf should meet at the bottom. Then you can start tightening up to make sure that it's not going to slide down. Once you have it tightened at the bottom, take a zip tie and just tighten it really tightly. Of course, you want to cut off the excess zip tie, and then we're going to bring in some greenery picks from Dollar Tree. These have a little bit of a frost look to it, which I think will look great with the style of the scarves. I'm going to use a small screwdriver just to poke holes through the scarves as well as the foam. That way, each pick is going to go in nice and smooth. I did add some hot glue, so they're not going to go anywhere. I added greenery picks to the sides, the top, as well as the bottom. Once everything was where it needed to be and it arranged where I wanted it, I'm going to take one of these snowflake arrangements from Dollar Tree. We're just going to use one of them, but I just thought it were very cute. So I'm going to use my wire cutter, cut one of them off, add hot glue to the back, and place it right in the center of the arrangement, just like that. Then I'm going to grab one of these snowballs from Dollar Tree. You can find these in a pack. I'm just going to hot glue it right to the center to cover up that little hole, as well as add a couple of them here and there to the sides and to the bottom, just to add a little bit more of that white tone. And we're just about done. What an easy DIY craft you can make. Perfect for Christmas as well as winter. What do you think of this one? It's definitely one of my favorites. Love the colors. Let me know down below. Show you how you open it. You just basically open up one of the sides and it opens up pretty large. I have this blade knife that I got on Amazon, and it is in my Amazon store, and that's the one I'm going to use, and I love it. Okay, I'm going to start with the scrap pieces of cardboard because this was one of the last ones I did, and I loved it so much I put it first. So that's why I have pieces of cardboard. I'm just going to cut whatever I have into triangle trees, different sizes, different widths, different lengths, okay? Then I'm going to put them on this piece of paper and I'm going to paint them using white chalk paint. You can use whatever color you want, but I'm not going to paint them completely. I'm just going to do different techniques, different styles. So I'm going to paint half of them on one, the other one a couple of stripes, just whatever your heart desires, okay? Then I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm going to do dots and stripes as I see fit, just to kind of give it a little bit of a more modern farmhouse look. Okay, so now that I have everything pretty much where I want it, I'm going to set it to the side, let it dry, and then we're going to take one of these 16 by 20 canvases from Dollar Tree. You can find them at Dollar Tree Plus. They come 2 in a pack. I'm going to line up the different trees, the taller and thicker ones towards the back, smaller and thinner ones towards the front, and just hot glue them in place. And I want to add some snow. So this is going to be very snowy, kind of Christmassy or winter-like snow. So I'm going to add faux snow all over the top of the trees. So on top of the canvas, right? So I'm just going to add Mod Podge pretty heavily and then just keep adding faux snow. Add more than what you think you need because we're going to dust it in a little bit. So I'm going to tap it down just a little bit just to make sure that Mod Podge really attaches to the snow. And then look at that. It's such a mess, but it's a happy mess. I'm just going to reuse the snow, put it right back in that baggie. And look how stunning this looks. This is why I put it first, my friends. I love the look. It's so fresh, so minimalistic, but yet so magical. What do you think of this one? For the next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take another one of those canvases and I'm going to flip it to its back, okay? Remember, they come 2 in a pack. So I'm going to measure, just kind of see how long and how wide it is on the inside of the frame. Then I'm going to take the cardboard and I am going to just cut several pieces that's going to give me enough to cover pretty much the inside surface of the canvas. I'm going to create little houses and I'm going to make them look different. I'm going to make them look pointy on top, flat on top, and I'm going to create some that are taller and some that are shorter. I freehanded with my pencil first. That way, if I make a mistake, I can always erase it. I did add little windows, and these are very important because we are going to light these up. So keep that in mind. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the smaller, shorter homes so that we can put them in front of them. One thing I really want to recommend is really have a good high quality blade knife and very sharp. It just makes life easier cutting all of these cardboards. So just keep that in mind. All right, so you can start seeing things kind of evolve here. And again, we just want to create like a little village of houses. And we are going to cover them up. Now you can paint them if you want, whatever you want to cover them up, or you can leave them like this and make them look like gingerbread houses. Up to you. I'm going to use some craft paper. This is a craft paper that I got. I believe this one was at Michael's a long time ago. And I'm just going to cover the back houses in one style and the front homes in a different style. But they're going to complement each other. Then I'm going to use my blade knife and I'm just going to cut off the excess paper. I use Mod Podge to attach it, but you can use adhesive spray or even 2-sided tape if you'd like. So I did the same thing with the smaller ones. And now we're going to bring in some of these LED lights that I do have on my Amazon store as well. I'm going to poke a hole on the canvas and we're going to thread them from the back to the front, which is basically from the front to the back. I'm going to hot glue the battery pack to the back and then we're going to tape the lights all around the windows using some masking tape from Dollar Tree. This is going to really make it look like the homes are lit up inside and you're going to see the effect here in just a minute. So just keep doing it around the windows the best as you can. And we're going to hot glue then the homes to the canvas right inside. So add a lot of hot glue, make it a little quick so it doesn't dry up on you, and then place them right on the canvas. Then we're going to do the same exact thing with the smaller homes. We're going to poke another hole on the other side of the canvas, hot glue the battery pack to the back, add the lights with masking tape around the windows, and then hot glue that set of homes on top of the larger homes. I want to give this village a snow-like village look, and I am going to cover the edges with this faux fur ribbon that I got at Walmart. You can use whatever you have on hand. You can use any other ribbon you want. I am going to use this one. I'm just going to hot glue thicker portions on the bottom and the top. For the side portions, I am going to cut the ribbon directly in half and hot glue them in place. I also want to Mod Podge more of that faux snow on top of the homes. This is going to give it a little bit of dimension and just a little bit of like a glittery magical look. So again, I'm just going to add Mod Podge to the top of the homes and then add faux snow as needed. To finish it off, I am going to hot glue 4 of these little greenery picks that I do get on Amazon, but you can use the ones from Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to do 4 of them towards the bottom of the homes, and I think it really brought everything together. I'm going to show you a picture with the lights off, and it looks so magical. I'd love to hear what you think of this one. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I am going to take another piece of the same cardboard and I'm going to make another tree. This time I'm going to freehand it with a little bit more of a curve look to it. Then I am going to cut it off using my blade knife. Then I'm going to use that first one and trace on top of another cardboard to have two of them that have this similar size and similar shape. And then I'm going to paint them. Now you can paint them any color you want. I decided to give it a look similar to the first craft where it has whites and stripes and dots, that kind of look. So I'm going to do the same thing on these and I'm going to do the front as well as the back of each. Making our Christmas memories. Now I painted the base of a couple of them completely white and left the other like that. I changed my mind later on. I'll show you how I fixed it. I'm going to take one of them, just going to cut it directly in half, and then I'm going to hot glue it to each side of the other tree. This is going to create a 3D kind of tree and it'll stand up nicely. Work a little fast when you add the hot glue because it'll harden on you and of course you'll have to take it off and that's okay. But work a little fast and it works really well. So here's where I decided to just go ahead and paint the base. It just didn't look finished to me. So I just grabbed a smaller brush and I just painted it completely white and I think it really did the work. Look how cute this is. You can add anything you want. You can even add bells. You can add faux snow. The possibilities are endless. What do you think of this one? All right, so I'm going to start with 3 of the smaller ones. Then I'm going to grab 3 of the medium-sized ones and 3 of the large ones. We're going to create a beautiful 3D Christmas tree you are going to love. This was a Pinterest-inspired one. I'm going to take the smaller one first, and we're going to cut off 1/4 of it. So just cut off almost like if you were cutting a pie, and you just want to cut 1/4 of it. Once you have it cut, we are going to fold it into a cone. Here's the key, and I'm going to go slow for you. You just want to make sure that you do a cone, but that you line up the bottom portion of it. If you use the Dollar Tree ones, it may be a little easier. I'm going to use some double-sided tape, and then once I create the cone, it'll stick to each other, and it's perfect. I'm going to do the same thing with the other 2 small ones, and then move on to the medium, and then move on to the large one, doing the same exact steps. And we're just about done creating the cones. And now that we have a total of 9 of them, we are going to put to the side the scraps because we're going to use that on another craft. I'm going to take a wood slice and I'm going to drill a hole right in the center so that I can hot glue a bamboo skewer stick. Just hold this stick until it hardens, so make sure it's nice and straight. Now we're going to start with the large cone. So remember, we have 3 of each. I'm going to slide it through the top all the way to the bottom, leaving about 1 inch from the bottom. Then I'm going to do the second large one, then the third large one, and then I'm going to move on to the medium ones and the small ones. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue in between each. That way they're going to hold in place and not fall on me. All right, so now we have the tree nicely made. We're going to take a couple of ribbons. This one's a lacy ribbon you can find at Dollar Tree. And then this one is a stick and stripe ribbon that I actually got, I believe it was Amazon. And I'm going to cut off a piece that is a little smaller. I'm going to stack the ribbons right on top of each other. And I'm just going to make a very simple bow. I'm going to loop it like an awareness loop. And then I am going to tie it in the center with some extra ribbon. Hot glue it to the top with a little bit of glue. And that's it. Just cut off the exit stick. What a gorgeous tree. Oh my, you can make this during the Christmas season and let it last all through winter months. Love the way it turned out. It's so easy. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take 2 types of Waverly Chalkman colors in the mauve as well as the white. I'm going to take those pieces of scrap doilies from the previous project, and I am going to start painting, starting with the large one. Now, the large one here, the first one is going to be the original moss green color. I'm not lightening it up. But I want this tree, because we're creating a tree, to have an ombre kind of faded look. So I'm just in between each doily, I'm going to add a little bit of white paint, lightening it up as I go. So each doily is going to be a little lighter than the next, just like you see here. And I'm going to keep doing that until I reach all the doilies, again starting from the darkest, from the largest, to the lightest, to the smallest. And you're going to see how stunning this looks. All right. Now, Dollar Tree carries these wood planks year round, and these are their larger kind. I'm going to grab one of them, remove the jute string, and I'm just going to lightly sand it for a smooth finish. Sometimes they tend to be a little rough, so we're just going to sand it, and then we're going to wipe it really well. I'm going to grab a glove, Waverly antiquing wax, and a wipe because we are going to stain the surface. You can stain it, you can paint it, you can do whatever you want. Once it was completely covered, I'm going to let it fully dry. And then I am going to sand it just a little bit. This is going to soften it again, lightly distress the edges, as well as lighten up the color just a little bit. I wiped it well, and now we're going to apply the doilies. Now they curled up on me just a little bit, so I'm just going to use my fingers to kind of very carefully, because I don't want to rip them, just kind of remove the curl. And it worked. I'm just going to hot glue it, and I'm just going to add hot glue to the top portion of it. I'm going to leave about 1.5 inches to 2 inches on the bottom, and I'm going to start hot gluing them all the way up. Again, going from the darkest to the lightest, which essentially is from the largest to the smallest. And I'm going to do that all the way to the top. So we are reaching the top here. So for the very top ones, I'm going to use a white one. This one's not one that was painted. I'm going to cut off some pieces that are going to be just a little smaller than the last one we hot glued. And I'm going to start adding them right on top. This is just going to finish that ombre faded look. And I'm going to do that all the way to the end, making sure that each piece is smaller than the previous one. Once I had it in place, I just cut off a little bit of the excess paper from the top. And that way it's going to be nice and even. I'm going to keep this one pretty simple, so I'm just going to make a few faux knots. Basically, I just take some nautical rope from Dollar Tree, make a couple of knots, remove the excess rope, hot glue it to each side. And this one is just basically on top of each hole. Once I have the faux knots there, I'm just going to add some more. This is just going to allow it to hang nicely, and I love the way this one turned out. Of course, you can leave it all white and just leave it like a white, but I love adding the ombre look. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take one of the small doilies and I'm going to cut it directly in half. I'm going to take some more of that two-sided tape and I'm going to start making cones once again. These are going to be a little smaller because we are going to cut them in half instead of 3/4. We are going to create 2 cones per each size of the doilies. So we are going to do the small one first. And then again, just line up those edges to make sure that the bottom really lines up. And then we're going to hot glue each size to each other. We're going to put it right inside with a little bit of hot glue and just wait until it hardens. This is going to create a cute little skirt leg. I did the same thing with the medium size and the large ones. Alright, so now we have 3 pieces that look nice and similar but different size. We're going to flatten out that top portion, just cutting off just a little bit of the top on all 3 of them. Now we're going to take another doily. We're going to start with the small one again, and we're just going to fold it in half and then fold it again. We're going to secure it in place again with the double-sided tape so it doesn't open up on us. And then I'm going to add a strip of tape right down the center from top to bottom. We're going to place it on the back. Now make sure you place the small doily to the small cone and then so on and so forth. And I did the same thing with the medium one as well as the large one. We are creating beautiful angels. This was another Pinterest inspired, and I thought I can definitely recreate and add my own touch. I'm going to add some of these wooden beads right on top just to give the little angels a head. So I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue, add each bead on top. And then I just thought the neck needed to be a little cleaner because you can see the hot glue I'm going to take some of this fluffy yarn. I'm going to add hot glue in between the neck and the head and just cover it up with the yarn, and I think it really works so well. We are going to keep these quite simple, but I do want to add a little halo. So I'm going to take this glittery silver pipe cleaner. I'm going to cut 3 inches off, make a little circle, twist it and tie it, add a little bit of hot glue and place it on top of each head. Oh my word, these are stunning. And you don't have to create 3, you can create as many as you want. I love the way these turned out. These would be a great craft to do with friends, your grandkids, or your kids. What do you think of this one? It's definitely one of my favorites. I would love to know which one is your favorite, and I have another video here for you with tons more of Dollar Tree DIY crafts inspiration. Check it out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.